Hey guys, so I got a lot of requests to do a monthly flip through or recap for my bullet journal for the month. So I wanted to do that before I set up for February in my bullet journal. So be on the lookout for that video. But first I want to show you what worked and didn't work for this month.
So this setup worked really well for me. As for the habit trackers, I made a couple of notes down here for things I want to change. Like I want to add film to the next one, something YouTube related, and then change walk chaos to exercise chaos because sometimes we just take them in the backyard. And then I want to add posture because that's something I really need to work on, just having good posture. And change read up here since I don't read often and I never will probably. I want to change that to either podcast or learn something new. This also didn't work out well for me. I'm going to cover that information up because I'm actually using this book to track all of my journals that I sell or ideas that I have or anything like that. So yeah, I'm just not going to do that in my bullet journal anymore. Plus, I wasn't crazy about that spread anyway. This is working out absolutely amazing. I love tracking my mood each day, but the weekly summary is even better, and it's going to be amazing to look back on that. So I'm really happy with this spread, and I'll probably recreate that for February because it's really working out well for me, and it's showing that my mood is a lot better than it was last year, so that's interesting. This, I was just getting started, getting in the swing of things, so I didn't write down as much as I probably wanted to, but you'll see I change up the weekly spread a little bit. The highlights I did pretty good with, but I want to find something to do with the remaining boxes. And then the to-do list, I could have written a little bit bigger to fill that up more. But like I said, this was just experimenting for the first week, and I wasn't really sure how it was going to go, what was going to work and what wasn't going to work. But I have a layout that I like better for the weekly spread. This still was nice though. Food log, I'm surprised I kept up with actually. I didn't think I was going to keep up with this quite as well. I added this after I filmed my monthly setup, so if you're wondering, if you saw that video and you're wondering where these 2 pages came from, I just threw them in after the fact because they just came to my mind and I wanted to include them. So yeah, this worked out pretty well. I like having my go-to groceries and what worked and what didn't. I do need to update this, but sometimes you forget like your goals and stuff like that, so it's nice to have them written down here for reference. Like coffee with no sugar is something recently that I just started to do, and it actually worked out really well, and I've been doing it every day now. So yeah, it's just nice to write that stuff down so that when you look back in the future, you'll know when you started it. The gratitude log, I might want to find like a better way to lay this out, maybe put the numbers in advance. I do like the idea of keeping a gratitude journal on a daily basis, so this is working pretty well so far. I did kind of cram everything together, so I probably will have some leftover space, and I'll just throw in a quote to make that look a little bit better. Plus, you can fill up a whole page with stuff that you're grateful for, so not too worried about that, but I will probably space it out a little bit better in the future. Wedding plans is another one where I have a book. Both of these I hand painted, of course. If you guys don't know, that is what I do in my like side business. I paint journal covers and sell them in my shop, which will be linked down below, of course. But yeah, so I carry these 3 around at all times in my purse, and it's never given me problems. These moleskins are really thin, so yeah, I painted this and I thought it'd be great to use for my wedding plans, and I'll always have this to look back on, so I'm really excited about having this book as well. And I just think that these 2 are best to keep separate from here, just because this is more to organize my life and my thoughts and things like that, and I have too much of the other things, my journal sales and my wedding plans, to write all of that in here. So here's the other spread that I was talking about where I didn't write as much, but you can see like we booked our venue, so I have the important stuff. There's a lot of wedding stuff this week, and I don't know if I got all of it down. I actually changed the layout in this next one, and I think I like this a little bit better. I kind of like the look of the other one. I think it's just a lot more clean, but this worked better as far as like, because this was a really busy week, just like listing everything down the page like that. And I just think once it's filled up, it might look a little bit better. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, if you like this better or this one better. I'm just curious. The highlights and to-do list, I definitely like better in this format though. So that worked pretty well. So I did it again, and as you can see, it was just as busy this week. Then we're moving on to the next month's setup. This page I'm gonna leave blank, and I'm gonna go back and do like a monthly recap. I know it's a little bit redundant because like if you're thinking a monthly recap, then my summaries for my mood journal dip into that just a little bit, but I want to have just really so I can look back and see everything that happened this month, just like an overview and my thoughts on it. I do want to fill up a page for that just off camera in the future. So yeah, that's how my bullet journal looks for January, and I'm really pleased with it. I'm well along on my goals for the year, which is crazy. It's just been a really productive month. So all this stuff is kind of coming together surprisingly. But yeah, January went really well. I think my bullet journal did help me to stay on task and to stay productive. So I'm just really pleased with this, and there's not too many things I would change, honestly. If I were to change anything, it would be just a bunch of small things. And most of that's just so it doesn't get too redundant. So yeah, moving on to February.